Welcome, brothers and sisters. So, man, I know it's hard. I know it's hard, and I mean, I know they're talking about a certain group of individuals as almost nearly a waste of time. I mean, it's pretty much a 90% waste of time. You know, these women are necessary, but secondary to the overall mission. They should always be placed in a secondary position, huh? You know, it's sort of like that saying goes: how you gonna do for others when you can't even do for yourself, man? You know, but for quite some time, black men have been told that they didn't have to do anything, man. I look at things on a global scale. I look at what everyone is doing, and then I tend to look at what we're doing as so-called black men, and it's just not a pretty sight. You know, it's just not a pretty sight at all. What I see us doing as black men, you know, as black men tend to repeat the same mistakes over and over and over again. I mean, God, you see it happening right here on YouTube. You seeing it play out again and again and again. You know, and it begs the question, are these men cursed? You know, there has to be a spirit on them. That is a spirit which is on them. The spirit of folly, the spirit that continuously repeats the same mistakes over and over and over again, as if we haven't already been here. You know, now that's a hard thing to call out. I know that certain wicked ears might be listening. They would love a piece of gossip, piece of ammunition to use as a shield. You know, I am neglectful of my duties because of the dysfunction of black men. You know, these women love to use your dysfunction as a shield to perpetuate their messed up behavior. But you know, our dysfunction is intertwined. It's not a black man do this, black woman do that. You know, it's you know, our dysfunctions feed off each other. You know, the black man and the black failure female, their dysfunction feeds off each other, man. You know, and but we got to look at what's going on the world stage. Man, we're being left behind. We're so far behind that it's not funny, because a lot of us don't want to do the work. A lot of us don't want to do the work. We don't want to actually get our hands dirty. We too busy trying to keep up with the Joneses when we don't have a foundation. You know? We trying to look the part without actually being the part. You ever wonder why the Asian man could walk around dressed like nothing? The Hispanic man, well, not the Hispanics really, but even them, a lot more, they can do this more than black men. Jewish men, Arabs, they just go walk around being like whatever, and you wouldn't think nothing of it. But when you see a black man walking around just dressed, averagely dressed, you draw up all these conclusions about him. He's probably broke. He's probably dusty. That man could have several businesses, several successful businesses, but if he doesn't have a bunch of gold chains and gold teeth in his mouth and a nice shiny Benz or Lexus or whatever goofy ride black men decide to buy the next day or these days, he's just perceived as some broke black nigga, broke black dude. As I tried to expound upon in my previous videos, I'm going to try to stay on this topic, because actually BAWs are worthless to talk about. Sometimes something will, she provides so much evidence of her dysfunction that it's just like, damn, it's just nothing you can really do. It's like, damn, soon as you get over one thing, it's like, damn, she's doing something else stupid. She just can't stop doing stupid nonsense. She just can't stop doing silliness. Now, black men, they don't tend to take L's like that. We take L's, but we don't take L's like she does. She takes L after L after L after L. Just name one win that she has in her column. You can't name one win she has. Every single thing that she's ever attempted amounts to shit. But like I said, she just keeps on providing more and more stupidity. She just keeps piling on. It's like, damn, when do you realize that it's time to go in a different direction, man? What you have been doing has not been working. And, it's unfortunate for the younger women as well, because, women, women tend to, I'm going to tie all this shit together, but women tend to be surface level individuals. They tend to be surface level individuals, surface level people. Like if you have a you could go out there and rent you a Lamborghini, get you some gold chains, get you some gold teeth. I don't know what she's going on about from one day to the next, but these women could easily be fooled because they are surface level individuals. And black men, they have to go out there and portray an image that has no base. No base, no glory. You have no foundation by which to stand on. It's like going out there and buying a bunch of fancy cars. A bunch of, get some money, but buy fancy cars, fancy clothes, and then you have no base. It's all surface level nonsense that black men are dealing with. Black men are not allowed to walk around dressed like just regular people, man, because there's people like, oh, that's some broke ass black nigga. Just some broke black dude. Like, damn. You know, surface level idiocy. You know. So black men go out there, they spend all of this money, and they spend all of these resources that they could use to build a base. But instead, they're too busy trying to look fly, trying to keep up with the Joneses, you know? And our biggest issue is that we don't have anything that we need to create something that we can rally around. Black people need something desperate, but besides some black man getting his ass shot, you know, but black people truly need something that they can galvanize themselves around, you know. It can't be some black woman getting shot, some black man getting shot, choked to death, you know. It has to be something that will enable you to build a base. See, these black power Negroes, you know, they're always talking, but they're not providing any type of accountability for black men and black women. They're not providing any accountability. We need a base of operations. We need a base. You know, I went into one of these black power chat rooms and I just kept repeating the same thing. No base, no glory. No base, no glory. Man, how can you glorify yourself when you have no base? You extend from nothingness. You know, it's sort of like when a BAW goes out there and gets a college degree, and she can't go back to her base and use those skills and talents and that education to empower her own group. She has to take those skills into another person's community and build off of it from there. I mean, if we had a base, we would be directing, our focus would be on strictly our base and whatever that base is. Our thing is, black people have to create a base around saving the planet, justice for one, and saving the planet. You know, everybody else seems to be concerned with depleting the planet. You know, just depleting the planet, just taking the resources and not ensuring that the next generation is gonna have something that they can count on. I mean, you're having babies, you having babies, but you're not leaving this world in a good state. I mean, you're just leaving it like, damn. But it's not as if the technology doesn't exist. They're just not interested. They're just not using it because there are too many high-powered corporations who can pay off these politicians to make sure that certain laws are not passed. You know, certain technologies you will never be able to see. This is another reason why black people need their own land. You know, you need your own land. But our base must revolve around saving the planet. You know, saving the planet. You know. And like I said, the technology already exists. Many people are just not taking advantage of it. But people have to start. People have to wake the hell up, man. I mean, you could literally revamp. You could really revamp this entire economy towards 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 helping the planet and rebuilding it and saving it. The entire, I mean, as people, as a so-called species, we should be more concerned with you know, living in this environment and making sure that we are leaving something for our children or the people that we leave here. It shouldn't just be about us, what we want. Long as we get what we want, everybody else, the future, who cares? They can go to hell because we getting what we want right now, today. This is why I believe that the coronavirus has struck this nation down, because regardless of whether you think it's a hoax or whether you think it's a conspiracy or whatever, it's happening. Doesn't matter what you think. This is actually happening. They're trying to force people back out into the workforce. They're trying to force people back out into these the children back into these schools. They're trying to, and these so-called coronavirus cases are exploding like nothing before. And we're just being called to do something different. You can't deplete the planet and expect that the planet is not going to fight back. That's like any given species. Most species are not just going to lay down. At the least, they're going to try to get away. So we have to have a symbiotic relationship with the planet. A more symbiotic relationship, a more give and take, instead of a just take. There are technologies that will allow us to save this planet from all the things that have been done to it. The technologies actually exist. It's all about how we decide to implement them. I mean, there are all kinds of technologies. All kinds. I mean, literally amazing things that people can implement. So my thing is, where does our base extend from? The first thing that our base should be based on is having a symbiotic relationship with this planet. That means, just because you can do something doesn't mean you actually should. You should actually strive to have a more symbiotic relationship. If what you are going to create is probably going to be more detrimental to the planet than it is going to be helpful, then maybe you should rethink what you're doing, or maybe you should come up with a new way of doing it. You don't have to necessarily give up on that ideal, but you can also find a better way of doing it. But it's up to us, man. Our base. See, if we had a base, like if we decided to go to school, we're only gonna go. If we decided to go to college or whatever, we're only gonna go to college for and get into fields that's gonna benefit our base. Because we see the direction that our base is going in, and we want to do certain things. Now the base starts with the Most High. First we must terraform our mind, then terraform this planet, man, in a more symbiotic way. You know, man. But the first thing we got to do is we got to get our noses up out of the BAW's ass. You know, when I was a young whippersnapper, I got into a lot of trouble. I used to get into a lot of trouble. Then one day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to go one single week without getting in trouble, and see how that works out. You know, we go 1 week without getting in any trouble, and then that 1 week started to I ended up extending out that 1 week to a more a more symbiotic relationship with this weird society. I always have been in rejection of this thing that these people love. I always knew that something was wrong with it. I just never could, I was just too young to put my finger on it. I could sense something was wrong. Spiritually, I knew something was wrong. Subconsciously, I knew there were some problems, some issues, something. Something. I just couldn't put my finger on it because I was so young. But as I stated, if you have a base that you operate from, one meaning the Most High comes first, and then having a more symbiotic relationship with the planet. I mean, do you understand how much so-called revenue you can generate when you have a more symbiotic relationship with the planet? The planet will actually feed you if you pay attention to it. If you care about it, it will care about you. But we're out here, black people are out here running their mouths about white supremacy. I mean, it does exist. It does need to be talked about. It does need to be addressed. But we can't lose sight of actual work. Black men are out here talking about BAWs and all the stupidity that they're on. And those are valid points that must be addressed. But at the same time, that's secondary to actual work, to actually putting in that work. Because as I've always stated or previously stated, if we're talking about these same topics right now, if we're talking about these topics right now, we have to also remember that we were talking about these topics 10 or 15 years ago, man. Almost 15 years ago. We talk about this and we're still talking about it. When the cat's out the bag. The cat's out the bag. When Oprah Winfrey and the weird ass Gayle King, they're literally attacking black men in front of your face. The cat is out the bag. If you don't get it by now, then you need more study. You need to learn. But you're not a level 5 member. You're a level 2. You might be a level 2. You're not a level 5 red pillar. You are a level 2 red pillar because you still trying to figure shit out. Black men, when they first get into these types of arguments, they tend to be like, nah, well, maybe it's the black, maybe black men are overthinking things. You know, I mean, they still won't accept it. They just won't accept that this is what's actually going on. And it's just going to be hard for them, because oftentimes when you won't accept the truth, you have to learn from experience. And unfortunately, you don't want to learn from this experience. Like if you tell a brother, don't get married in this system, man. The laws are skewed in a female's favor. You don't benefit at all from marrying a woman under this system at all. One bit. What is the benefit? Especially when, these women they're selling their bodies. I mean, they're just selling it. You don't have to stand on the corner to be selling it. But my thing is, what is the benefit? Nobody can say, none of these men can tell you what the benefit is to a black man to be married. But there are a lot of brothers who are going to go out there anyway and get their asses handed to us. Like, damn, didn't we tell you don't do that? Oh, well, I had to go out there and learn from experience, man. That's, yeah, she getting half my money. She getting child support. She got the house. She got the cars. I'm living in a hotel. I'm living in a motel. But yeah, I had to learn the hard way, brothers, man. Then he gonna be on that crusade. He's a level 5 brother. He's a level 2, level 3 red pillar. I guess sometimes you gotta go through some of these tragic situations in order to realize that you should do that. Now, as I stated, we need a base by which to operate from. Everyone needs a base. Like when you go to the grocery store, that is a base from which the food industry operates. I mean, they have warehouses and they have how does it get from the farm to the damn grocery store? You have to have a base of operations, man. So that those things, I mean, look at all the things that has happened to us because we don't have a base. Look at all the inventions that black men have created, in this country. If we had a base, we would be able to we would be billionaires and trillionaires from our own inventions. But because we don't have a base that we operate from, then other people who do have a base will come along and just throw a bag of money at you. Look at the hip hop, the music industry. I'm not talking about hip hop. I'm talking about the music industry. Every single genre of music that black people have created, the so-called black people have created, which one of them were we able to own, control, and operate? Not a single one. We have no base. We have no base. And while we're sitting around, like I said, sometimes it's necessary to, even if we're just giving a warning to the brother to talk about the BAW and how much of a parasite she has become, in general, we can't lose sight of work. These things that we talking about, they're supposed to be like, how you go to work every day and you go to work and you do your thing and you work hard. Then some black men, they come home and they relax and turn on the game and and or they go out to the bar, or they get they get some drinks in them or whatever. See, the things that we're talking about, that this is leisure stuff. This has nothing to do with the actual work. You know, this has nothing to do with the work. We need a base by which to operate from, a base of operations. That way black men can focus their energies. We need a community center. The center of our community. You know? We need a center for our community. That's why they call it a community center. Black people don't even have communities, because communities have a base, they have a consistency, they have goals that they're trying to achieve. What are our goals? What are our goals? We are, though the things that we talking about, a lot of the things that we're talking about as far as BAWs goes, or watching out for white supremacy, those are leisure activities. They should be, at least. They shouldn't be the main topic of discussion. Like, yeah, the BAW, she's trapped. Like, when she put out one of her tropes, of course we're gonna tear it down, laugh at it, because it's secondary. It's like, whatever. Whatever. We doing our thing. So we toxic now. Okay. We're gonna remember that. I mean, all the shit she's saying, we got fouls on all you flagrant females, man. There's fouls on you. But you have been charged with treason. That's why these women don't want you men to have anything, because they already know that they gonna be charged with treason. This is why the Democratic Party does not want you men to have anything. I mean, because all of these fake ass black politicians and these fake ass black organizations, they know they're gonna be charged with treason. If you men ever got your stuff together, they know they will be charged with treason. This is why they keep telling you vote, 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 vote. They want you to vote for people that don't give a damn about you, that don't take your concerns and your plight seriously. They don't care about your plight, but they want you to vote for them. They want you to say yes. A vote is an endorsement. We endorse you to keep doing the same shit that you've been doing to us. That's what they want you to do. They want you to endorse what they've been doing and keep endorsing it. And tell them, yes, we agree with all the wickedness that you've been doing. We agree. We're in agreement. Keep doing it. Your vote is an agreement. Your vote is a contract. Your vote is an endorsement. We want you to keep doing. We're voting for you because you've been helping us. All this Congressional Black Caucus, these weird groups, NAACP, Urban League. Now the Urban League, they do a few things for black people. They have good programs. I mean, I do advise some of you black men, if you are in desperate situations, to check out the Urban League. They have different programs. See, I used to work with a lot of black men, and I pick up a lot of information from them. Plus, I used to work side by side with these people. I've met the president. I've worked with the president of the Urban League. So the Urban League does have some interesting programs that help so-called black men. And NAACP, they're more focused on minorities than you. And then when did black people become minorities anyway? But then you have the You have all these little black groups, and all of these black groups, these boule idiots, all of them have a vested interest in you voting for them, because your vote says that your vote is an endorsement of a certain party, you know. And if you ain't voting Democrats, you ain't black. I mean, who would say that? A group, a party who does absolutely nothing for you in general. They do something for a few black people, just so they could be like, look, this person, we helped this person. Look, we did that. Look, we did this. They gotta have a little, uh, you know, a few little token Negroes that they can point to. Like, look, we did this. Look, we did that. Look, we hired one black guy at our company, you know. So they gotta have that token Negro. But, overall, these groups have done absolutely nothing. But they literally took somebody's death. They took somebody's death and turned it into an opportunity to vote. Like the black man's death is always used to spur on somebody else's agenda. Whether it's these women's agenda, whether it's the Democratic Party's agenda, whether it's some my fake ass minority agenda, black male death is being used to further these wicked agendas. Look at that. What was it? Good trouble, nigga. What's that dude name? Yeah, him. Oh, he's a loser. I don't know. I ain't got time to remember him. But he got in some good trouble. He got in some good trouble. Now they used his death as a platform to say go out there and vote. They did the same thing with George Floyd's death. Oprah Winfrey, did you see that Oprah Winfrey special? I mean, they sat there and talked about the plights of black people. Black people are so disenfranchised, and poor black people, blah, 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 blah. See, that's why you gotta go out there and vote. Everything they do is about getting you to endorse them. I know some school teachers, right? Right? And I used to date one of them a long time ago. But, I was talking to her like a few weeks ago, and she wanted me to go over some weird speech that she wrote. And she wrote a speech, and she was saying all of this stuff about, COVID-19 is disproportionately affecting black men or black kids and black people. And, in the minority community is just disproportionately affecting everybody there. And this is why we shouldn't open the schools back up. And I'm like, what the fuck kind of weirdo shit are you talking about? We shouldn't open up the schools. That was her agenda. Her agenda was not, she literally used black people's plight. She literally used the plight of black people to further her agenda, because she didn't want to go back to school and deal with all of this COVID-19 garbage. So she made it. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Black people are always being used to further somebody else's agenda. And then we sit around and act like we don't need a base from which we operate from. Like, I sit there and I listen to all of these black power Negroes, and I'll hear them talking and all of that weird shit, and I'm like, dude, why aren't you more focused on black people having a base? I mean, this is not something that's new, because Dr. Claude Anderson, talks about this. I mean, been talking about this for 50, 60 years. You know, if you have no base, you have no leverage. How you going to make somebody do something for you when you have no leverage? And then when you put yourself in a position to where you never going to have leverage. You got a bunch of females out here talking about, oh, I'm strong, I'm independent. This is what makes them the hugest joke on the damn planet. The biggest fucking joke. How are you damn independent when you haven't built a damn thing, and nothing you've ever done has led black people in the right direction? Can't name one single thing. Want to point to some straw man, straw woman argument and use that as an example to further some weird ass argument. Like that's factual. The vast majority of black people are not where they should be. And that's because we have no base. Now, if you're interested in having a base, you have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. You need a base from which you operate. You need a base of operations. You can't operate from thin air. I used a prime example in one of my other videos, which is if you have millions and they have billions, then how are you gonna fight them? How are you gonna fight them? Look at Nick Cannon. They have billions and you have millions. So how you gonna fight them? These people are taking your raw talent and earning billions, and you're earning millions. So you think you're doing something. Black people operate out of the most idiotic paradigm, integration. You do realize that black people are the only people who operate from integration. They operate within an integrationist paradigm. That's why people dislike black people. That's why black people are disliked so much. We sit around and trying to figure out why people hate black people so much. And that's because it's like you're trying to force yourself into somebody else's house instead of building your own. You're trying to force everybody to integrate, and nobody wants to do it. And nobody is doing it. Who's integrating? Are white people integrating? No. Did I just put out a video debunking your whole illusion of integration? Funny. Apparently you're not integrating. Are Asian people integrating? Last time I checked, they was trying to put black people out of their country. And they have some of the most racist people, you can imagine. Are Hispanic people trying to integrate y'all? Or they'll use your ass when it's feasible. Oh, black people, we got to get together. Everybody comes to get the black man when it's time to do some integrationist bullshit. Look at the feminists. These feminists, these quote unquote feminists, went out there and got the black woman because she's dumb and she has the mindset of an integrationist. But when it came down to divvying up all the resources that they gained from all of this, then BAWs got nothing. Then they had to create their own group called, what was it? Womanism. Yeah, womanism. And when womanism didn't work out for them, then they went into something called intersectionality. Nothing has worked in their favor. temporary gains, but you still have nothing. You still have no base. The sisterhood of failure. This is why they call y'all the sisterhood of failure. Because damn near everything y'all do has failed. I mean, it's not just like it's failed, just kind of failed, or just failed, period. It's been disastrous. I mean, your behavior has been disastrous for your entire community, man. How the hell do you look around in this community and see the condition that it's in, and have the nerve to talk about how you independent, strong, educated, and all that other garbage? See, this is what I'm telling you. Black people are the only group of people in America that have integrated themselves. Everybody else sees America as, okay, we got this, this is like the world stage. They call this the melting pot, right? This is a huge melting pot. You got people from every single country, every single race, every single, gender, culture, whatever, all in one place, melding together. Now, all of those groups, they're separate. They're separated, but, they're going to get what they can get for their group of people, Now, black people are so dumb in general that they have integrated themselves into nothingness. Always begging, do this for us, do this for me. This is why people despise you. Because you're the only person who seems like you're running over to another group, trying to get them to act right, trying to get them to do right, trying to get them to do this, while you do stupid shit. It's sort of like you're begging. This is why it's hard for black people to get reparations. It's extremely hard for people to give you reparations when you don't have a base. You don't have a base. You cannot get reparations without a base. That's like a person giving you a bunch of money, and then, if they were smart, they would go ahead and do it, but it's going to be hard because black people are going to go out there and spend up all that money. The vast majority of them are brainwashed. You got to own this. The vast majority of them are brainwashed, and they're going to go out there and they're going to give away. They're going to give all of that money right back to these groups. But the thing about it is, after they do that, they're going to be right back down at the courthouse or the politician's office, or however they've been going about doing the stupid shit they've been doing. They're going to be right back down there begging again. Like, come on, we need more reparations. We need more. That wasn't enough. We spent that. We need more reparations, man. Some people were talking about black people are owed 100 and some million apiece for every black person. They need to give that. They need to give us at least 100, and then other people are talking about giving us basically 100,000 apiece. A little bit more than that. But like I said, man, we desperately need a base of operations, man. And what can that base be? What would that base be, black man? The brothers and the sisters have already, they've been thinking about these things already, man. They've had time to contemplate these things, man. But ultimately, like I said, man, it's not going to be everybody, man. That's why the Most High made all of these people, man. He made all of these people because he already knew. That's like any species. That's like any species of food. Any species is going to be the same way. The Most High produce, just like the Most High produces an abundance of 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 um of a certain kind of fish, because he knows that another set of fish is going to eat those fish, you know. And black people are the only group of fish that are food for everybody else. You know, we're like that. We're, you got your sharks, and then you got your your just basic fish. You know, and we're the basic fish. And the sharks come along and they eat and feed off us, and they grow big and fat, and then they go around, bossing everybody around, lurking and just lurking and waiting for you, waiting for y'all to do something, man. Y'all like that group of fish, Everybody's feeding off of you. Y'all the weak group of fish. Y'all are not sharks. But there's a lot to learn from the fish, even the fish. Sometimes the fish have to cannibalize their own fish. I mean, from their own group in order to get big, strong, like catfish. Catfish will cannibalize other catfish, and a lot of species of fish will do the same thing. If they're in too close of proximity and there's not enough food around, guess what? Those fish will cannibalize each other. So black people gonna have to make some decisions. They're gonna have to. It's not gonna be all black people. You should not even be concerned with trying to get all black people on board. Getting all black people to do right, to act right, to think right. It's all about those level 5 brothers that already understand. They've already taken the red pill, swallowed it whole, and had to deal with the belly aching. And already, after you done with the belly aching, you come to that logical conclusion, man. You come to that logical conclusion, man. It's like, damn, this stuff, this don't sit. This don't necessarily sit right with me, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, brothers, on that note, I want to say peace. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you think. Get on the 5 steps and adopt the moral code.